You tear after the fleeing cultists. Their dark patron has abandoned them to their deaths, and the berserk fervor they once had vanished like the morning dew. You fire with your Gauss rifle, and vaporize one of them as your compatriots annihilate two more with searing plasma blasts. The last two remaining cultists round another corner, and you sprint after them. You skid to a stop as they frantically try to escape down the corridor. You fire twice. The shots were easy. The last two were running away in a straight line. Even a mediocre marksman would have had a hard time missing. You grin as their bodies disintegrate on a molecular level. But as you move to turn back, you see it. And it is far too late. A frag grenade dropped by one of the fleeing cornates. The impact of the explosion throws you back against the wall as shards of shrapnel embed into your armor. You feel a sharp pain throbbing in the back of your head as you sink to the ground. You try to move your limbs, but they won't obey. You feel like you're falling into a pit of blackness as your vision swims and everything is consumed by darkness. Well done, my friend. You killed the last two little rodents that would have ratted us all out. Your eyes snap open as you cough and retch uncontrollably. Blood sprays from your mouth, spattering the inside of your helmet. You quickly throw it off and continue to hack and turn over and spit out yet more blood rising in your throat. Thank you for being such a team player. Very decent of you. Top-notch self-sacrifice stuff right there. The good news is, it appears that your armor didn't allow the shrapnel to shred you into monkey jerky. However, you are bleeding internally from the impact of the explosion. Quite severely by the look of it. Fortunately for you, I have a little concoction I obtained from a homunculus. You see, he was a real piece of work. He enjoyed feeding his victims shuriken ammunition, and once everything inside the aforementioned victim became a fine puree, he'd inject them with this. You know, so he could patch them up and do it again. Kazazel shifted one of your carapace plates and pressed the needle against the soft undermesh and into your skin. He depressed the plunger. And don't worry, it won't turn you into a mutated monstrosity. I already tested this on injured pitmongers. The little nanites are now in your bloodstream, and they're going to eventually find all the boo-boos and owies and kiss them and make them better. And eventually they'll pass out of your body. You'll have sparkly poo for the next few weeks, but you'll be good as new soon enough. And hopefully soon enough is now, because if you can't stand I'm leaving you here. We can't exactly put the whole stop-the-world-ending mission on hold to wait for you. Your body aches all over. You feel like you've been beaten by an ogren. But you can move. You get to your feet, pick up your blood-spattered helmet, and begin cleaning it out. You hang at the back of the group as you move forward, this time, content to clean yourself up and pick bits of shrapnel out of your armor. The powerful aches in your bones slowly start to fade away as you continue your journey through the catacombs. The catacombs began to get more convoluted. There were twists and turns, countless branching hallways off to quiet shrines, or yet more pathways. It was a bit of a slog, but you're making sure you're not leaving anyone or anything at your back. Most of the shrines and different holy sites had been desecrated. You and the crew do your best to remove the demonic glyphs and symbols. You've been around Kazazel enough to notice that he seems particularly uncomfortable around these symbols. You occasionally run across little nooks that pilgrims took refuge in. You find what's left of them. The bodies were horribly mangled and missing heads, of course. But you can tell that one of them was a reptilian Xenos creature. Another one appeared to be an avian sort of creature. It strikes you as odd to see these Xenos worshipping in a basilica dedicated to the Emperor. But, with all you've been through, you can't truly say it's surprising. Wait a minute, my little monkeys. We're nearing the center of the catacombs now. That is, if Teresa's directions were correct. The underchapel should be ahead. From the sound of things, we might be the first ones here. That or the fight's already over and our compatriots are a head shorter than they used to be. Still, I'm much more subtle of a creature than you all are. I think I'll scout ahead. You were more than happy to let Kazazel take point on this one. You were still feeling sore all along your back where you struck the wall. All the muscles were still tender. You wondered if the nanites would help with that or if they just stopped the internal bleeding. No matter. Pain was temporary, you told yourself. But then after thinking about it, loot was frequently also temporary. But it was usually worth the pain. Either way, the Dark Eldar pirate slunk away into the darkness of the catacombs. After a good 15 minutes, he came back, looking a little more tense than usual. Well, it seems our friends are having quite the party indeed. We've got blood and skulls and cultists as far as the eye can see. Oh, and there are guards. Most of them seem to be cultists. I did get a glimpse of our big red friends. They seem to be enjoying some kind of ritual combat with their captives. Oh, there are quite a few from House Xavier among their number. And he's chewing through them like nothing, and adding their skulls to an ever-growing pile. And you might find this a bit upsetting, my friend, but it looks like our dear Book is among the captives. Now, I'm all for rescuing valuable crew members, but we need to be careful. There are about 100 cultists in there, and I counted at least 5 Chaos Space Marines. I suspect there could be more, so we have a few options. It might take a while, but if we can find Kandra, a sweet little comfy spot, she might be able to pick off the leader right from the beginning and end this mess. We might lose Book and his boys if we wait too long. We could, of course, try to go in guns blazing. We might have enough firepower that we could do a lot of damage with surprise on our side. However, if those axe-wielding monsters close the gap, which they're very good at, we will all be hacked to tiny pieces. Another option is we could hit and run. A few of us attack the guards, and then we try to draw them back into the catacombs to be ambushed. The other thing to think about is we do not know where Teresa and Antorax are. For all we know, they might be waiting to attack as well. Regardless, we need to decide very quickly. I have no desire to dilly-dally until these bloodthirsty idiots summon the apocalypse. Once again, it is time for you to choose your destiny. Do you wish to take the slow, cautious approach and try to find a sniper spot for Kandra? Do you want to go in guns blazing and hope the shock and awe of your superior weapons is sufficient to overwhelm the enemy? Do you want to try to draw as many cultists and Chaos Marines away from the ritual as possible and lead them back into ambushes? Do you have another idea that you think could work? Feel free to post suggestions. Ideas that receive many likes will be added to the poll that will be placed in the community tab later this week. Be sure to vote and meet your destiny. No man do they call me. My mother and my father, and all my comrades as well. Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of Kazazel's Merry Marauders. If you enjoyed what you heard, please give it a like or comment in order to help you come up with good strategies to overcome berserk world leaders and their hordes of slavering minions. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so, as that will allow you to watch more videos about adventures with your murderous friends. If you really enjoyed what you saw, you can support me via PayPal or Patreon. Both of those will be linked in the description below. And if you have absolutely no idea what's going on, you can click on the Kazazel playlist, which should be appearing on screen right now. Thank you all very much for listening once again. No Man out.